Hi, everyone. Tanya Hertz here again. We are talking now about tracking our key performance indicators in our marketing. And these KPIs, key performance indicators, these are indicators that are telling us how we're performing. So we look at what will show us, what's something that will show us our, in hard numbers, how well we're doing. And for social media marketing, that's pretty easy. Almost every social media marketing channel out there offers you free tools that you can use to measure and manage and keep track of those KPIs, like comments, likes, subscribers, friends, shares. All of these are they're signs. Like if you're sick and you have a fever, that's a sign that you're sick. A share is a sign that you're doing a good job at marketing. It indicates that that people liked what you said, and so much that they're willing to put their name on it as well. And then that gets your marketing for free in front of many, many, many more people, as many people as they're connected with, and so on and so on and so on. So it's really important that you keep track of your KPIs every month to see how big of a reach you have in your business, and to see how effective you are at your marketing. I've given you a link here to some of the assignments in my classes, including a KPI template that you can use for tracking your KPIs, and it goes well into detail. Again, marketing can go down that rabbit hole. There's so much to learn all the time, but as a business owner, I'd say that this is one of those things that I highly recommend, actually, that you do this practice. I don't care if you use my tools or use whatever works for you, but definitely keep track of it. And then remember, for your social media marketing, that as an entrepreneur, you're taking advantage of that organic as much as possible, because remember, the more time and effort you spend on marketing, the less money that you have to spend, but the more effective that it is. And authenticity is key. A good rule of thumb for posting and not seeming like you're a salesy, pushy person is, or company, is the 80-20 rule. So no more than 20 of your posts on your personal site should be blatant self-promotion. 80% should support others in your network or your field, or things that your customers care about. And this is true primarily on your personal pages. On your business pages, people expect a little bit more promotion, and they're fine with it. You don't have to necessarily follow that same rule, but just know this, that you will likely get more engagement and more interest and more followers, more likes, more friends on your personal pages. And that's why it's so critical as an entrepreneur that you are part of the brand, right? So this is a little sheet that is one of the assignments in my classes, and it's a sheet that I use to keep track of the KPIs for my businesses. And I start by looking at what sites you have now for social media marketing. Do you use Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Pinterest, Google Plus, Tumblr, or any other, right? Any other, whatever you're using has to be linked to your customer, to whatever target market that you have already identified, and it has to be where they are, right? It has to be where they are. And start with how many followers, friends, subscribers you have now. And then you just look at that every month. And so you say, how many did I have a month ago? And then you look at, especially on the personal pages, start sharing little wins, little milestones, little things that you're doing that people can get behind and get excited about. Even CEOs of huge companies typically have more followers and friends on their personal pages than on their business pages. And then it's important, as you're making these posts and doing this engagement, that you connect with people in your industry, and that you get a big following so that you can grow organically, and that you watch what's successful so you can repeat it. And then I also, you can see on this, there's instructions on how to do this. Actually, if you click on here, on the page before, it gives you a link to this activity. And then there's also a link here if you click on the picture. But you're going to want to make sure that you use some sort of a CRM tool, like we talked about, for a client retention management tool, and track that as well. That's your list of emails and names of your customers. And and I put that on my KPIs. I put that because it's part of my digital marketing, right? Even though it's a direct email marketing, it's still part of my digital marketing strategy. So I put that on there as well. And then you can use whatever. I've used a few different ones. Some are better than others, but they're more expensive than others. Right now, I'm using just the MailChimp. And I've used in the past others, what was it, Salesforce? Salesforce was a good one, but it's kind of expensive, but I haven't checked it out in a while rather. It's also, I wanted to make sure that now I talk to you a little bit more about search engine optimization so that you know what you should be doing in regards to your marketing and how to get all over Google. So right now you're going to type your name into Google, your personal name and your business's name into Google. And you do that every single month and you see how much of Google is actually you. And there are there are free things that you can do to increase your visibility online and ensure that you are all over Google. And we call that whole process just SEO, search engine optimization. And the reason I say Google, we used to say search engines when we used to use Alta Vista and all the others, but nowadays people Google. That's what people use. They use Google. And so we look at the way that Google works. And when you understand the algorithms behind Google, it gives you an advantage to dominating Google. And so even though, if you remember when we were looking at the different social media marketing channels, I don't think LinkedIn was even in the top 10 or 15 of the channels that people use for social media marketing. And then you might wonder why I push all of my entrepreneurship students and entrepreneurs to use LinkedIn. And it's because of the Google search engine optimization, Google's algorithm for finding web pages. And so a lot of people think that the way that Google finds web pages is how popular is my site, or how many visitors do I have on my site, or things like this. And that's really not true. It's not real. That's not how Google works. Google works by keyword searches, and Google works by redirects. And sites that have more redirects and have more keywords, and there's also a geographic component, are what Google maximizes and pushes. Now, there's a third part of the equation, and I'm hoping that eventually that the Securities and Exchange Commissions does something about this, because Google has a monopoly right now. And the reason why Google ever became so big was the fact that they didn't push their own content down people's throats, but they gave people the best content. That's changed in the last 4 or 5 years, especially. And now Google does give a lot of preferential placement to companies that they own, or companies that they have affiliation with, or companies that pay them, right? But that doesn't mean that's the only way that Google finds things, and you can still even exploit that for free if you're smart. So the way that you do that is you use the sites that Google that Google makes, or Google owns, or Google supports, and you especially sites like YouTube. So YouTube, we know that Google searches by keywords, and so YouTube is also owned by Google. And so that's why making videos is critically important, because every single word that comes out of your mouth in your video, and that's why I also encourage you to do blogging. I'll give you a link at the end to teach you how to do that. But every single word that comes out of your mouth, or anyone on that video, is then a keyword that's searchable in that industry by Google. So that can fill up Google that way. And then LinkedIn, I said, why do we make people use LinkedIn? Well, LinkedIn is redirects. It's LinkedIn. It's links to other sites. So when you're creating your LinkedIn profile and your company's LinkedIn profile, it's critically important that you use dropdowns and that you create a business profile on LinkedIn for your company, so that you can then redirect and say that you work there, and that everybody who works for you works there. And then LinkedIn has so many, organically, so many links within it, that Google gives it a preferential treatment when it's recommending sites. And so if you, right now, you went in there and you Googled your name in Google, or you put your name into Google. I'm using Google as everything, adjective, verb, it's too many things. But you put your name in Google, chances are your personal name, at least one or two of those first ones are LinkedIn. And so this is a really good way for you to fill up that first page of Google for free, right? Without paying Google, right? And using social media also helps you fill up that whole first page of Google, especially when you create videos. You then upload your videos to YouTube for free, and then you have the videos then attached to your social media channels, which then drives everyone back to you, drives people to your site, drives people to you. And this is, I wish I would have known this when I first started, and I wish more good people knew this. You can really, really dominate Google and market yourselves, advertise for free, just doing a couple of few things, right? Having those social media marketing channels, posting regularly, and using videos as much as possible, and using YouTube to support those videos, and LinkedIn, whatever. So, all right. Also, another thing that you want to remember is that accessibility is a big part of SEO, and accessibility is one of those things. When I'm talking about accessibility, I'm talking about making like your images and your videos accessible to people with disabilities, and so that everybody can read them and understand them, and giving names to your photos, and not just, you've probably all seen those little alt text box when you upload a photo and then you ignore it, but it's on every social media channel. It's on every website. It's describing your pictures with words rather than just with pictures, and describing your videos with transcripts and words rather than just your pictures. It helps the sight impaired. It helps people with disabilities. It helps people who are using their mobile devices to find your information, and it helps you. It helps you because it helps these little web crawlers, these Google bots, these spiders who go around the web finding those keywords to give the page an order, or to decide where it goes on that page, and then it finds those by words, not by pictures. But pictures and videos have so many more words within them, and if you make sure that you keep accessibility in mind, and you always include an alt text in your pictures, and you use YouTube and include a transcript, which will happen automatically as long as you set it up right, in your videos, then Google has your keywords everywhere, and it finds you, and you dominate Google. That's social media marketing, or not social media marketing. That's SEO and content and digital marketing in a nutshell, right? So you've now typed your name in. You see how often, or how many times you come up on Google. And remember, people don't scroll down, so you want to be that first page. It has to be you, and you've described all of your images, right? So anytime you upload a picture, make sure that you include a description with keywords in that picture. And remember that the primary picture on any of your social media marketing channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, every one of them is always by default public and searchable. And that one is critically important, that you have your name in there. And this is why it's so important when we're posting, when we're putting pictures, that we tag, and we do in-text tags, and we do hashtags, and we do alt text descriptions of all of the images that we put up. That's how you're all over Google, right? So you want to track your SEO monthly. So you want to use your KPI document and look every month at how much engagement you're getting, how often people are sharing your posts and liking your posts, how big of an audience that you have, how much of Google is you. And that's essentially what you're trying to get at. When people want to find you, they can find you, they know about you. You're going to use videos regularly, use TikTok regularly. I'll also put some resources at the end of this video that show you how to make videos, how to tag your posts. You should be posting as a business owner, personally, about 3 to 5 times a week. For the business itself, you want to be posting Monday through Friday daily, without oversharing, I suppose. So just make sure. So it's different for different channels, but make sure that you're in the forefront of people's minds without shoving your message down people's throats. So I'd say if you were just going to just one rule of thumb, I'd say 3 times a week is an effective amount of posting. And again, authenticity is super key. And even though LinkedIn doesn't have a lot of use in terms of reach internally, it's the site that a lot of entrepreneurs and businesses use because they understand how, they understand the basics of SEO, and they know that they can connect with one another there. It's a really good place if you're doing any B2B, business to business marketing. If you're selling to any other business, it's great. And so use that, and use videos, and post regularly, post consistently, and you'll do very, very, very well. Remember, the whole goal, the whole objective is to get people to know you, to get people to see you, to remind them about you, to see your business, to know your business. They need to see it regularly to remember it. They need to like you. And so I think that this is one of those things that actually is nice because and fair, and there's good parts of capitalism and bad, and this is one of the good parts of capitalism, that when you are authentic and real and good, and people see that, then they're more likely to give you money, to support you. And one of the other benefits of being on LinkedIn and other social, especially LinkedIn though, well, and Facebook and some of the others, is that you can connect with others in your industry, and you can, just like a union, like a labor union gives power to the people, to the workers, by taking people who are small and making them together big and strong by being together, so that they can fight fairly against the big companies who have all the power and money. The same is true for groups and for internal networks on social media marketing channels. And so by combining with other people in a network, in a group, in a Facebook group, or just connecting on LinkedIn or some of the other, or Instagram, any of the channels, and having a group that you support one another, that you help one another as entrepreneurs, you become big and powerful, and you become a force to be reckoned with, and you take the power away from the big companies. So the more you help others, the more you help yourself. And I feel like that's true in all of business. When you're putting, if we go back just really quickly, when we were talking about accessibility, right? Accessibility, it's helping others, and it's also helping yourself by joining forces with others on things like Facebook, and sharing the posts of other people, and helping lift your other friends or others in the industry up. People see that, they reciprocate, and you can get very big, very fast, very powerful. So take advantage of those networks that you're building. Take advantage of the fact that we're all in this together, and that we can lift up small, good businesses and put out of business the big, greedy corporate executives who just care about themselves. So you get a little bit of my personal views in here, but they're supported with evidence. Okay. So also another thing to remember as a small business owner, especially if you're in the food business, Yelp is something to be reckoned with. It's something that needs to be thought about. Yelp does have a lot of power, and they do exploit the power and try to get you to pay for advertising through them. You can, just like that same, back to that time money chart, time money efficacy charts, you can work hard and get the same benefits by putting in the time and the effort as you can by paying the money to Yelp. And it's going to be up to you which you choose to do. But Yelp will give preferential treatment to companies that give them money. So you either need to have a strategy of getting people to actually post and give you ratings on Yelp, so that you can have organically lots and lots of reviews, or you need to pay them money. And so that's something that you're going to need to decide. I, as an entrepreneur, always recommend the first approach first, and then always start with the grassroots first approach. And remember also that when we were talking about the marketing mix, the 4 Ps of marketing, the basic 4 Ps of marketing, price, product, place, promotion. Price is one of the 4 Ps of marketing. What I mean by that is price is a signal. It's not just a way that you make money and you can signal profits, et cetera. It's a signal to your customers about value. Always remember that. And so you're going to get a lot of people coming to you saying, oh, I have a coupon. And if you remember that whole Groupon from the past, yes, you can get people in the door by giving them discounts, but what are you giving up by giving them discounts? Not to say that you shouldn't use coupons, but just think strategically about your pricing. People equate price with value, and discounts are not the best way to signal value. That said, in the restaurant business, I know from personal experience, people also love, they love having like a friends and family kind of a discount, or something special that shows that they are special. And so you can do things like that, to show people that they're important to you and to keep people coming back. But just be careful, be strategic about discounts. So remember as well, there's different kinds of advertising. It's all about awareness, whether you're selling a product, whether you're selling a particular industry, a firm, whatever, or your company's image, whatever it is, it's all about sharing, sharing a message and basically just keeping people aware, So you want to make sure that you have regular, effective, continuous marketing, so that people know that you exist and people keep your company in their minds when they're making their purchase decisions. So for social media marketing, like I said, 3 to 5 times a week is probably good, but be careful. If it's too much and you're seeing that it's too much, pull back on it. And make sure that you're picking the right places to advertise. So you should have a marketing strategy yourself. And I don't care how you do things, just that you do them. So like, you can pay for a CRM tool, or you can just use like a free Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel to keep track of everything. The more work, the cheaper, always. But however you do, keep track of your marketing mix and your your marketing media mix, and choose a good mix that you can handle in terms of time and money, and excuse me, and make sure that no matter what, there is a digital component, so that you have that website, you have a few social media marketing channels, and those channels are the ones that your customers use or visit, and then also look at what others in your particular industry, in your particular area are doing, and make sure that you that you are doing the most effective at what's necessary. You can always try new things, test them out small, and then expand. That's just like a pop-up restaurant, right? We test out a new restaurant idea or a new restaurant by having a little pop-up, seeing how people respond, and then moving forward if we choose. The same is true with price or with new menu items. You can try them out in different areas. Maybe do a little farmer's market outside of your normal area, and see how people there respond to this new product or a new price or something like this. Choose the medium, and concentrate on what gives you the best ROI, return on investment. And you know that by tracking your KPIs, seeing how much money and time you're spending on things and what kind of a return you get. And then look at traditional media marketing sources as well. Are people finding about new restaurants? Maybe they're still using readers. Maybe they're maybe radio is particularly effective in a certain area. It's important, though, that you whatever you're doing, that you're tracking to make sure that it's working. Now we're going to do some branding, and I'm going to stop this video here, and we'll see you in the branding workshop.